tour the cruise ports, the Lower Rhine, Köln to Koblenz.
Table of Contents, Part 3, the Lower Rhine, Köln to Koblenz.
All about the Lower Rhine, Köln to Koblenz. With visiting and touring information. Geography. History. Attractions. And other points of interest.
Dr. Sydney Soclof. Dr. Sydney22@gmail.com. 2022. Narration by Dr. Sydney Soclof.
Zoe Phonemes.
And Nathan Koltov. For a more complete discussion of YouTube navigation, please go to this video using the link here. The Lower Rhine, Köln to Koblenz.
This shows the route of a typical cruise along the Rhine, Main, and Danube rivers between Amsterdam and Budapest, or on to Bucharest and the Black Sea.
In the Lower Rhine region between Koblenz and the Netherlands, there is usually only one port of call besides Koblenz, and that is Koln, or Cologne.
This map shows the location Lower Rhine, or Niederrhein, and the Middle Rhine, or Middle Rhine, in Germany. The Lower Rhine in the Netherlands is also called the Delta Rhine, where the Rhine splits into a number of distributaries.
Here we will look at the section of the Rhine between the Dutch border near Arnhem south to Koblenz, at the confluence of the Moselle with the Rhine.
Aside from the port at Rotterdam, this is the busiest section of the Rhine. The region around Duisburg and Düsseldorf can be called the Industrial Rhine. This is the industrial heartland of Germany, and is the area of the Ruhr region between the Ruhr and Lippe rivers.
The Rhine in this region of Germany, and continuing into the Netherlands, is in a wide flat valley.
The Lower Rhine, especially below Köln, traverses one of the main industrial areas of Europe, the Rhine-Ruhr Valley.
This region extends from the Ruhr region of Germany, eastward to Rotterdam, and through Belgium to the coast of the North Sea.
This shows the location of the Ruhr region in Germany.
The Ruhr region extends from the Rhine near Duisburg, eastward along the Ruhr and Lippe rivers, to around Dortmund, with major industrial centers being Duisburg, Essen, and Bochum.
The Ruhr region is part of the Rhine-Ruhr Metropolitan Region, Metropol Region Rhine-Ruhr, the largest metropolitan region in Germany, with over 11 million inhabitants.
The North Rhine-Westphalia region contains several of the most often visited cities of Germany, both for business and tourism.
Many headquarters of Germany's large corporations, the European offices of Asian and American multinationals, and major factories are in North Rhine-Westphalia.
Many of the globally important trade fairs take place in Düsseldorf and Köln. The latter is also a major cultural center.
The Rhine-Ruhr Metropolitan Region lies entirely within the federal state of North Rhine-Westphalia, with the state capital being Düsseldorf,
and the largest city being Köln.
Duisburg has the world's largest inland port, Duisburg-Ruhr-Oder-Hafen.
The Rhine runs through North Rhine-Westphalia from the Dutch border near Arnhem south to just beyond Bonn.
North Rhine-Westphalia, German Nordrhein-Westfalen, is the most populous state in Germany, with 17.5 million inhabitants, located in the west of the country.
The beautiful and historic city of Bonn was West Germany's de facto capital until 1990. It still has many federal institutions, both governmental and cultural.
Köln.
Köln, or Cologne, is the fourth largest city in Germany, and the largest city on the Rhine.
This is a map of Köln.
This is a map of the center of Köln.
This is a map showing some of the principal points of interest in Köln.
This is a map showing some of the principal points of interest in the center of Köln.
The history of Köln.
Köln is one of the oldest large German cities, and its name dates back to Roman times. The Romans founded a frontier outpost on the Rhine in 50 AD, and named it Colonia Claudia Aera Agrippinensium, the Claudian colony at the altar of the Agrippians.
This is a map of Colonia Claudia Aera Agrippinensium, the Claudian colony at the altar of the Agrippians. De Vita was a small fort on the east bank of the Rhine to protect the bridge. De Vita later became the Köln suburb of Deutz.
This is a timeline of the early history of Köln, under Roman rule from the founding of the colony to the collapse of the Roman Empire, around 450 AD.
Agrippina the Younger was born in AD 15 in Köln. She was the daughter of the Roman general Germanicus and of Agrippina the Elder, a granddaughter of the first Roman Emperor Augustus.
Agrippina asked the Roman Emperor Claudius to elevate her birthplace to a colony status with the name Colonia Claudia Aera Agrippinensium, colony of Claudius and altar of the Agrippinians.
This gave Colonia the status of city under Roman law, and a Roman colony had many more imperial rights. At this time the city became the administrative capital of Germania Inferior.
Before this time Germania Inferior was not a province, but an occupied area controlled and administrated by the military.
This is a map of the provinces of the Roman Empire under Trajan, the Roman Emperor from 98 to 117 AD.
Colonia Claudia Aera Agrippinensium was the Roman colony in the Rhineland from which the German city of Köln developed. It was the capital of the Roman province of Germania Inferior and the headquarters of the military in the region.
Many artifacts from the ancient city survive, including the arch of the former city gate,
with the inscription CCAA, Colonia Claudia Aera Agrippinensium. This is now in the Roman-Germanic Museum.
This map shows the Roman provinces of Germania Superior along the Upper Rhine, and Germania Inferior along the Lower Rhine, as well as the unconquered vast territory of Germania Magna.
This shows the many Roman settlements along the west bank of the Rhine, including Noviamagus, Nijmegen, Confluentes, Koblenz, Bonn, Colonia Agrippina, Köln, and Mogontiacum, Mainz.
The imperial governors of the Roman province of Germania Inferior resided in Colonia Agrippina, and it grew into one of the most important trade and production centers in the Roman Empire north of the Alps.
This is a timeline of the history of Köln during the Middle Ages. By 1180 Köln became the largest city of the Holy Roman Empire with around 40,000 inhabitants.
This is a timeline of the history of Köln during the Renaissance period.
In the Middle Ages, Köln was a prosperous and densely populated town.
Köln was an important town of the Hanseatic League.
The early development of trade fairs also led to further influence and prosperity. Impressive city gates and ruins of city walls line the ring, and the Museum of the City of Köln houses other historical artifacts.
In 1388, the citizens of Köln founded the first city university in Europe, and it is now one of the largest universities in Germany, with over 44,000 students.
This is a timeline of the history of Köln in the 18th and early 19th centuries.
Köln was captured by the French in 1794, and was given to Prussia in 1815 after the defeat of Napoleon.
This is a timeline of the history of Köln in the 19th century. The cathedral was completed in 1880, and the demolishment of city walls began in 1881, allowing for the expansion of the city.
In 1881, work began to demolish the city walls of Köln. This made it possible to expand the city for the first time since the Middle Ages.
With the Industrial Revolution, and the incorporation of large parts of the surrounding area, Köln became a major industrial city.
This is a timeline of the history of Köln in the 20th century, through the end of World War II. A major part of Köln was heavily damaged by bombing in the war.
This is a timeline of the history of Köln in the post-war period, after the end of World War II.
During the World War II, around 90% of the inner city was destroyed. By the end of the war, only around 40,000 people were still living in the city area.
Work began in 1947 to rebuild the city, and now much of Köln consists of post-war structures. Present day, Köln is now the fourth largest German city and one of the most prominent travel destinations in Germany and Europe.
The Köln museums rank amongst the best in the world and have enormous appeal for cultural tourism. These include the Roman-Germanic Museum, the Ludwig Museum, and the Chocolate Museum.
Every year the Köln Trade Fair and Exhibition Center, the Köln Messe, is hosts to around 55 international trade fairs and welcomes more than 2 million visitors.
A major celebration in Köln is the Carnival, held in February or March, similar to Mardi Gras in the U.S., and enjoyed by hundreds of thousands of people every year.
Several Christmas markets in Köln attract many visitors to Köln during the Advent season.
Köln is still a major destination due to its central location. Today, as in Roman times, the city is one of the most important traffic hubs in Western Europe.
About 280,000 travelers a day pass through the Köln train station, making it the fifth busiest station in Germany. And all high-speed trains stop here.
Travelers can fly to more than 130 destinations around the world from Köln-Bonn Airport.
Cruise ships dock along the Rhine at various locations between the main train station, Hauptbahnhof, and the chocolate factory. From any of these locations, it's only a 5 to 15-minute walk to the cathedral in the center of Köln.
Köln points of interest.
This is a map of the center of Köln showing the cathedral and the main train station, Hauptbahnhof.
Chapter 8. The Köln Cathedral.
The Köln Cathedral is in German, the Kölner Dome. The official name is the Hohenzollern St. Petrus, or the Cathedral Church of St. Peter. It is the seat of the Archbishop of Köln, and of the administration of the Archdiocese of Köln.
The Köln Cathedral was declared a World Heritage Site in 1996. It is the most visited landmark in Germany, with an average visitation of 20,000 people a day. The cathedral is the largest Gothic church in Northern Europe, and has the second tallest spires.
Construction of Köln Cathedral began in 1248, and was stopped in 1473, leaving it unfinished. Work restarted in 1842, and was finally completed in 1880. Restoration work started after World War II in 1950, and continues to the present day.
The towers for its two huge spires give the cathedral the largest facade of any church in the world. The cathedral was the tallest building in the world at 515 feet for 4 years, from 1880 to 1884, when the Washington Monument was constructed.
The choir has the largest height-to-width ratio, 3.61, of any medieval church.
The cathedral was planned for the purpose of housing the Shrine of the Three Kings, and to be a place of worship for the Holy Roman Emperor.
The Shrine of the Three Kings, Drei Königsschrein, is also known as the Tomb of the Three Kings, or the Tomb of the Three Magi. It is a reliquary traditionally believed to contain the bones of the biblical Magi, also known as the Three Kings, or the Three Wise Men.
The shrine is a large gilded and decorated triple sarcophagus, placed above and behind the high altar of the cathedral. It is the largest reliquary in the Western world.
This is an aerial view of the Köln Cathedral. Note the cruciform shape.
This shows the location of the cathedral in the main train station, or Hauptbahnhof.
This wider view again shows the location of the cathedral and the main train station, or Hauptbahnhof.
This is another view of the location of the cathedral.
This wider view again shows the location of the cathedral and the main train station, or Hauptbahnhof.
The area around the cathedral was very heavily damaged by Allied bombing raids during World War II.
The cathedral sustained 14 hits by bombs and was badly damaged, but was left standing surrounded by a devastated city.
The Roman-Germanic Museum, Römisch-Germanisches Museum, is an archaeological museum with a large collection of Roman artifacts from the Roman settlement Köln, known as Colonia Claudia era Agrippinensium.
The Roman-Germanic Museum is located right next to the cathedral.
The museum contains the original site of a Roman town villa.
In the basement of the museum is a large Dionysus mosaic.
In the front of the museum, the former northern town gate of Köln with the inscription, for Colonia Claudia era Agrippinensium, is on display in the building.
This is from the Roman North Gate in Köln. The upper inscription CCAA is from the time the gate was built, around 5080. The lower inscription, Galena, refers to the Emperor Gallienus, who ruled from 254 AD to 260 AD, and often visited Köln.
The Hohenzollern Bridge crosses the Rhine River near the central railway station of Köln. It is 409 meters, or 1,343 feet in length.
The Hohenzollern Bridge across the Rhine at Köln was constructed between 1907 and 1911, replacing an earlier bridge.
This shows the location of the Hohenzollern Bridge, the main train station or Hauptbahnhof, and the Köln Cathedral.
The bridge was named after the House of Hohenzollern, the ruling dynasty of Prussia, and the Kaisers, or emperors of Germany, after the unification in 1871. At the time of construction, Köln was part of the Prussian Rhine province.
The Hohenzollern Bridge is the busiest railway bridge in Germany, with more than 1,200 trains daily going across it.
The bridge was built as a rail and road bridge. It was attacked by Allied bombing during World War II, but not heavily damaged. However, toward the end of the war, it was destroyed by German military engineers.
As Allied troops approached Köln on March 6, 1945. Although back in used by 1948, the bridge was completely rebuilt by 1959 for use by rail and pedestrian traffic.
Around 90% of the inner city of Köln, including the area around the cathedral, was destroyed by Allied bombing raids during World War II, although the cathedral only suffered minor damage.
Since 2008, people have placed love padlocks on the fence between the footpath and the railway lines. A love padlock is a padlock which sweethearts lock to a bridge, fence, gate, monument, or other public fixture to symbolize their love.
The names or initials, and sometimes the date, are usually inscribed on the padlock, and the key is thrown away, often into the nearby river, to symbolize unbreakable love.
The Imhofschokoladen Museum, or Chocolate Museum, displays the history of cocoa and chocolate over 5,000 years. It was opened in 1993.
The Chocolate Museum has 675,000 visitors a year, putting it in the top 10 of German museums.
This shows the location of the Chocolate Museum with respect to the Rhine and the cathedral.
This is the chocolate fountain where the liquid chocolate is distributed to the visitors.
Guided tours include a viewing of modern chocolate production, as well as displays of historical production equipment.
Museum Ludwig houses a collection of modern art, including pop art, abstract and surrealism.
Museum Ludwig also features many works by Andy Warhol and Roy Lichtenstein.
Museum Ludwig is located just in back of the Köln Cathedral.
The KölnTriangle is a prominent landmark at 103 meters, 339 feet, in height. It was completed in 2006.
The top floor and roof of the KölnTriangle have an observation deck with panorama views all over Köln.
This is a view of Köln from the KölnTriangle.
This shows the location of the KölnTriangle in the Deutsch district, on the east bank of the Rhine.
This is another view showing the location of the KölnTriangle, in the Deutsch district on the east bank of the Rhine.
Chapter 14. Eau de Cologne, or in German, Kölnisch Wasser, meaning water from Cologne, is often referred to simply as Cologne, is a perfume originating in Köln. It was first developed by Giovanni Maria Farina in 1709, but has since come to be a generic term for scented formulations in typical concentration of 2 to 5% alcohol.
Giovanni Maria Farina was an Italian living in Köln who was homesick for his Italian homeland. To assuage this yearning for Italy, he formulated a scent to remind them of home.
Farina's formulation contained 2% to 5% alcohol together with essential oils from lemon, orange, bergamot, tangerine, neroli, and grapefruit. There were also very small amounts of thyme, rosemary, petit grain, jasmine, and tobacco.
In contemporary American English usage, the term cologne has become a generic term for perfumes usually marketed towards men. It also may signify a less concentrated, but less expensive version of a popular perfume.
Köln is famous for its locally brewed beer, called Kölsch. There are about 30 traditional brewing houses with their own versions of Kölsch, and selling them beer gardens and cellars.
Kölsch is a style of beer that was first brewed in Köln, and remains as a favorite there. It is unusual because although it is warm, fermented with ale yeast, it is then conditioned at cold temperatures, like a lager.
Chapter 16. Koln Hop-on Hop-off Bus 2.
The Köln City Tour has a duration of 1.5 hours.
The starting point of the Köln City Tour is the Köln Cathedral in Bergmoor, next to the Köln Tourist Office.
Commentary is available in many languages including German, English, Dutch, Japanese, Russian, Italian, Spanish, French, Chinese, and Swedish.
This is the Red Line route of the Köln City Tour.
These are stops 1 through 7 on the Red Line of the Köln City Tour.
These are stops 8 through 14 on the Red Line of the Köln City Tour.
This is the Blue Line route of the Köln City Tour.
These are the 8 stops on the Blue Line of the Köln City Tour.
Another tour operator is the Stadtrundfahrt Hop-on Hop-off bus. The duration of the tour is 1.5 hours, when not getting off at any of the stops.
Buses depart every 30-60 minutes from the stop next to the Köln Tourismus, Köln Tourist Center, near the cathedral.
This shows the route of the Stadtrundfahrt Hop-on Hop-off bus.
These are the 8 stops of the Stadtrundfahrt Hop-on Hop-off bus.
Chapter 17. Koblenz.
Koblenz is located at the downstream end of the upper Middle Rhine region.
Koblenz is on both banks of the Rhine, but the central part and historical district is on the left bank, adjacent to where the Mosel joins the Rhine.
Koblenz was established as a Roman military post around 8 BC. The name originates in the Latin, ad confluens, meaning, at the confluence of the two rivers. The actual confluence is today known as the Deutsches Eck or German Corner.
Koblenz has a population of 112,000, making it the third largest city in the Rhineland-Palatinate region after Mainz and Ludwigshafen.
This is a map of the central historic part of Koblenz.
Koblenz has a total of 16 docking locations. They are adjacent to the Deutsches Eck, at the confluence of the Rhine and Mosel.
6 docking locations are on the Mosel side of the Deutsches Eck, and 10 more are on the Rhine. All of them are located close to the Old Town, or Altstadt.
The Deutsches Eck has a monumental equestrian statue of Kaiser Wilhelm, the first German emperor, in commemoration of the unification of Germany that occurred in 1871.
This is a map of the Rhine, Mosel, Koblenz, and the Ehrenbreitstein Fortress across the Rhine from Koblenz.
This statue of Kaiser Wilhelm I at the Deutsches Eck was erected in 1897.
The statue of Kaiser Wilhelm was destroyed in World War II, and only the plinth was preserved as a memorial. Following German reunification, a replica of the statue was erected.
The Deutsches Eck is today a Koblenz landmark and a popular tourist destination.
Chapter 20. Koblenz Altstadt.
The Koblenz Altstadt is the original center of the city, dating from Roman times.
This is a map of the historic center of Koblenz.
After the heavy destruction caused by the heavy air raids in World War II, the Altstadt was rebuilt.
The restored Old Town with its restaurants, shops and historical building attracts many visitors, and it now part of the UNESCO World Heritage Upper Middle Rhine Valley.
The Historienstuhl, or history column, portrays 2,000 years of Koblenz history in 10 scenes perched one atop the other. The World War II period is represented by a flaming ruin.
This shows the location of the Historienstuhl.
This shows the location of the Historienstuhl in the Josef-Goebbels-Platz.
Chapter 21. Ehrenbreitstein Fortress.
A principal point of interest near Koblenz is the Ehrenbreitstein Fortress, in German, Festung Ehrenbreitstein.
The fortress is on the peak of the hill of the same name, 118 meters above the Rhine. It marks the northernmost point of the Upper Middle Rhine Valley UNESCO World Heritage Site.
The Ehrenbreitstein Fortress is on the east bank of the Rhine across from Koblenz.
Ehrenbreitstein occupies the position of an earlier fortress, destroyed by the French in 1801.
Ehrenbreitstein was built as part of the regional fortification system, called Festung Koblenz, by Prussia between 1817 and 1828, to guard the Middle Rhine region. This is an area that had been invaded by French troops repeatedly before.
The Prussian fortress of Ehrenbreitstein was never attacked. Since 2002, Ehrenbreitstein has been part of the Upper Middle Rhine Valley UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Chapter 22. Koblenz Cable Car.
As easy and enjoyable way to reach Ehrenbreitstein from Koblenz is by the Koblenz Cable Car, or Seilbahn Koblenz. This is an aerial lift that was opened in 2010.
The Koblenz Cable Car was opened in 2010. It connects the banks of the River Rhine and the hill plateau next to Ehrenbreitstein Fortress. The cable car system is 890 meters in length and has an elevation of 112 meters.
The Koblenz Cable Car can take up to 7,600 passengers per hour, and therefore has the highest passenger capacity of any cable car in the world. It operates usually between April and October.
Guests can enjoy a view of the UNESCO Upper Middle Rhine Valley World Heritage Site from one of the 18 panoramic cars.
The cable car's lower station is located within the city. on the banks of the Rhine, on the Konrad Adenauer Ufer, behind the Basilica of St. Castor, and very close to the Deutsches Eck. The upper station is situated very near to the entrance of the Ehrenbreitstein Fortress.
Some facts about the Seilbahn Koblenz, or Koblenz Cable Car. The cableway length is 890 meters. The height difference 112 meters. The free span over the Rhine is 850 meters. And the width of the Rhine at this point is 287 meters. It has 18 cabins and a speed of 16 kilometers per hour, or 10 miles per hour. It has the highest transportation capacity per hour for an aerial cable car worldwide.
These are cable cars approaching the upper station, near the Ehrenbreitstein Fortress.
The Koblenz Cable Car has been Germany's biggest aerial tramway since 2010.
Climate. Will it be hot or will it be cold in Koblenz?
Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year in Koblenz.
Here are the average high and low temperatures in degrees Celsius throughout the year in Koblenz.
The rainfall in Koblenz.
Here is the average rainfall in inches throughout the year in Koblenz. The total yearly rainfall is 28 inches, or 570 millimeters.
Here is the average rainfall in millimeters throughout the year in Koblenz.
Here is the average number of days per month with precipitation throughout the year in Koblenz. We see that it rains about 12 days every month throughout the year.
Recommended videos, Part 3, the Lower Rhine, Köln to Koblenz.
Recommended video, Rough Guide to Cologne, Germany, presented by Keith Maynard, 5 minutes, 23 seconds.
Recommended video, Germany's Black Forest in Cologne, Rick Steves, 26 minutes, 40 seconds.
Recommended video, Cologne, Germany travel guide, visiting the Köln Cathedral, 1 minute.
Recommended video, visit Cologne, Germany, 4 minutes, 45 seconds. Recommended video, adorable and charming town number 3, Koblenz on the Rhine, 6 minutes, 51 seconds.
Recommended video, places to see in Koblenz, Germany, 3 minutes, 10 seconds.
Table of contents.
Thanks for watching. Please watch some more of my great videos.